Right, here we go. There's another Mikey P here to see you again. We'll do some more of this trek into the BBC comedy archive that I seems to be getting through at the moment. But anyway, here we go. We're going to do One Foot in the Grave today as an audio commentary. So get your DVD out or your program, whatever. We're going to watch Hearts of Darkness today, which was series 4. This is when One Foot in the Grave was really hitting its stride in the 90s. So when I say play, we'll go 3, 2, 1, play all together and start our episode together. We'll all be in perfect sync and I can talk you through it and bore you all to death, eh? Never mind, I'm sure you'll get over it. Right, 3, 2, 1, play. And there's the famous tortoise. Did you remember that YouTube video where the girl saves the tortoise? Well, she thinks she's saving a turtle and throws her tortoise into a lake. And it obviously dies, so that was not good for the tortoise, but the girl meant well, I'm sure. Strange start, but there you go. Anyway, starring Richard Wilson on the screen now, so we're in sync. And with Annette Crosbie, another good actress. I remember seeing her in the Henry VIII series from the BBC in the early 70s with Keith Michel. Here we are. Oh, there's a little bunny toy outside the cage with the bunny. The thing's in. Well, One Foot in the Grave. It started in 1990. And I don't think it was an overnight success, but it started quite well. And this is where they all go out for a day trip. And it all goes very dark. And that's what I like about One Foot in the Grave. There's a little Max Bygrave's song playing along in the background there. I think it's Max Bygrave's anyway. He did Family Fortunes in this country for a few years. Your equivalent is Family Feud, you know, they Steve, someone who does it in America, is quite funny. Anyway, look, here he is fronting up the rugby guys. Anyway, Richard Wilson, good actor, famous actor. Been around since, he's still with us. Yes, born in 1936, Scottish. You get that, there they are going to beat the hell out of him. Yeah. What car is he driving? It's a 1986, 87 motor. Blue thing. Oh, in pub. Oh, this is quite good because he's putting the eye drops. Yeah, I'm not going to comment. Anyway, Richard Wilson. Scottish, yes. He's been in Doctor Who. He was in, Only When I Laugh. He was in that for a few years. That's probably where he's best known from before this. He was one of the doctors in that, and he was like a hospital comedy with all these HAPPY thing going on. That's another decent comedy, but only decent, not fantastic. Apparently, he did Have I Got News For You? He did like a live episode where he was the compere, the quiz master, when Angus Dayton left. I think, Angus Dayton being in this, of course, yeah. He wasn't very good. It was a bit of a rubbish episode, that. It was like a really long episode, and it wasn't very good. And I like Have I Got News For You, but not that one. What else did he do? He did the Doctor episode with Christopher Eccleston. Merlin, he was in that as the old boy, playing Gaius, who was Merlin's mentor in that. A bit boring, I never really got into Merlin, to be honest. He was in The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances in Doctor Who with Christopher Eccleston, when Eccleston came in. And here they are on the lake playing the game. I like this. It's sort of Apocalypse Now in a minute, isn't it? Where it goes all cloudy and they're playing. How did that tree come down? Was that magic? The other actress, Annette Crosbie, she's had a big career, obviously. She's done, like I said, she was in Henry VIII playing Catherine of Aragon. And I don't think Angus Dayton's in this one a lot, or at all. But he played the long-suffering neighbour in this, and he was really good as that. I thought he was fantastic as the neighbour, really dry, and they were always butting heads. I'll have to do another episode, I suppose, when they see a lot of each other and butt heads, because that's brilliant. Because Angus Dayton was fantastic on Have I Got News For You, and it's never been the same since he had to leave that after his cocaine scandal in the early noughties. Still, he was the best quizmaster on that. They have guest hosts now. They can't really replace him full-time. It's like they replaced Stephen Fry on QI with that Sandy Totsvig, and she's crap, and I bet the rating, I don't like her, I won't watch it. Prefer Stephen Fry by a long chalk. Anyway, Annette Crosbie, yes, she was in Calendar Girls. Annette Crosbie plays Margaret Meldrew, his wife. I know they're both wearing the same dress in the boat there, and this is really that Apocalypse Now look. But she is the one on the right of the screen as I'm facing the screen. So, as you should know if you watch this programme at all. And she's playing the long-suffering Margaret Meldrew. But yeah, she's a good actress. She was in an episode of Jonathan Creek, not one of the best. The one where all the monkeys go crazy. I might do Jonathan Creek. If I can keep it up for an hour. Says my missus. No, you don't, dear. Shut up. You're not allowed to interfere in the commentary. And that's not me being sexist or anything. I just don't want to ruin my great comments, as you can hear. Anyway, yes, he's supposed to be a bit acerbic in real life. They're here playing Trivial Pursuit, a game that's gone by the wayside here. I mean, it used to be like 80s, 90s, and I used to have an Amstrad CPC computer, and they had a computer disc, I had a little floppy disk version of Trivial Pursuit, and that was really good. But Trivial Pursuit used to be like a coffee game, an evening game, after dinner game that people used to play in the 90s, 80s, which has gone by the wayside really now. Don't think, well, people may still do it, but I haven't seen many people do it much anymore, play evening board games. They might still do it. I could be doing a disservice to everyone else, but never. But I don't. I mean, stopped playing board games ages ago. But Trivial Pursuit was fun. You know, you'd get a different wedge. You'd have this little cake thing, and get a little pie wedge for every subject you mastered. And once you'd mastered all the like general knowledge, science, nature, and all that, once you'd mastered it, you'd move the way to the middle of the board, and that would be, and then you'd win with the ultimate question. And I used to win all the time because I'm just so clever. Anyway, what was she in? She was in Calendar Girls, doing a nudie as an older lady, but, you know, I'm not prejudiced. She was in the Dad's Army film, the late film, you know, done in about 2016, the crap film that no one should watch, which is an abortion. Shooting officially on the Pig Farm TV. Yeah, Six Wives of Henry VIII, Catherine of Aragon, like I said, very good. Want to look at that if you want to see her in a younger role. Heartbeat, Jonathan Creek, playing Dr. Ingrid Strange. Yeah, that was quite good. Doctor Who, oh yeah, she was in the 11th Hour. She was in Matt Smith's first episode. Matt Smith being probably my favourite of the modern Doctors since the new series began. I like Eccleston a lot. I like Tennant, but he's slightly overrated for me. And Matt Smith is my favourite of the modern Doctors, by far. Even though he wasn't served well by the script. But anyway, look, they're standing in 2 feet. This is brilliant. I love this. They just stand in the water. Oh dear. I think the guy, Nick Swaney, being played by, what was his name? I don't remember. Owen Brenman, that's his name. Yeah, he had a weight fluctuation. He's been in Doctors, which is one of these perennial rubbish daytime drama type soap things. And I've never really watched that. I think Christopher Timothy turned up in that. He used to play James Herriot in... See, this is the great setup of David Renwick now. I suppose he's the real genius behind this. Anyway, finishing off with Swaney, he didn't do much else. Weight fluctuated throughout, like mine. And, yeah, he was great. Yeah, good actor for this part, the sort of simpleton guy. Anyway, on to David Renwick, the writer of One Foot in the Grave. Fantastic. And also the writer of Jonathan Creek, which I really... Well, I say I really liked the first 4 seasons, then it started to taper off. You know, when they did the later stuff and it was really getting crap. It got crap at the end. But I might do a Jonathan Creek, so we talk about that then. But I think David Renwick is great at the construction. He's a plotter, a real plotter, isn't he? Because he's worked this out backwards, like a puzzle he is. I think he's a puzzle maker. You know, he works where he wants to be, where he's been. I think he probably works from the back end and works back from there to the start. And then puts the bits in that he can configure into it. But I think he's a real, like... I mean, he's got a talent for comedy and it's funny. I mean, laugh out loud funny, some of all this stuff. Because, I mean, even this, when they put their feet into the plaster and the water... It's raining, of course. So the plaster's going to set on their feet and they'll be stuck together. Him and... God, what was her name? Mrs. Warboys, who was in Coronation Street in England as of late. I think she was a murder victim in that. Because in soap operas they also have to have a murderer every couple of years to spice it up a bit. But anyway, yeah, there goes the hole in the roof because it's an old... I mean, this construction, I presume he's gone from the end, which is the old people's home where they're being abused, and worked his way back through the day and then constructed it. But it's like a maths puzzle, really. He's really put it together. And then he builds in all his jokes to it. Yeah, but yeah, he did Jonathan Creek, which is the same. They're constructed similarly, I would say. I'd say Jonathan Creek and One Foot in the Grave. If you watch an episode of each, you'll see they're probably a similar construction because Jonathan Creek's sort of comedy drama as well, more towards drama, but there's comedy moments in it, obviously, and it's constructed the same way. And the protagonists are similar. I would say Jonathan Creek and Victor Meldrew are similar characters. I mean, Victor Meldrew's got zero tolerance, really. He's like a sort of Larry David character, from Curb Your Enthusiasm, if you're Americans and watch that. He's got that sort of zero tolerance. He's always pretty much right in what he says, but he's got zero tolerance, and people can't take that kind of honesty in this day and age, and even in the 90s here when this was made. Like sort of Larry David. So, yeah, I reckon Larry David probably got his idea of the Curb, because the Curb Enthusiasm episode, what, 2000, when this ended? So he might have watched it, because I don't know if he watches English comedy or not, but similar characters, really. Larry David on Curb and Victor Meldrew in One Foot in the Grave. Watch them both and see if you concur. Might do a Curb one day, never know. Anyway, David Renwick, where did he start? He obviously arrived. We did the Two Ronnies, which is a sort of perennial English comedy thing. He used to do some of that, wrote some of that. He did the famous scene where the mastermind host, which is a quiz in England, asked someone a question and he answered the question before the last quiz. It's a weird thing. Look it up on YouTube, you can find it. Two Ronnie's Mastermind parody, he wrote that. He did... he did Not the 9 o'clock news, which is sort of an 80s thing, which was alright. Yeah, it was quite good. He had Rowan Atkinson of Mr. Bean and Blackadder fame, which was good. And then he went on to be given his own shows, I would think, which are... basically, he's best known for One Foot in the Grave and Jonathan Creek. Did a couple of Poirots, according to this. Might do a Poirot one day. Might do an hour one of my favourite hour ones, perhaps. The longer ones, I don't know if I can say enough in the time, because they're about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, and oh, here they go, the feet in the... And I think there's a good joke here where they say they fall over or something, but it's lucky because his leg's already in plaster, which is classic. But he's got to go and have a wee. And it's another good joke, isn't it? Like, why do they always have to wee again? Something. But anyway, yeah, David Renwick, really good at creating plots. The good logical plot. Anyway, Mrs. Warboys, played by Doreen Mantle. I don't know what else she did, really. I mean, she's most famous for this, I'm sure. But I'm sure she's probably been a bit player in loads of stuff. But she was in Jam and Jerusalem, which was a pretty awful Jennifer Saunders vehicle. That's lasted a few years by the look of it, but I don't think I ever watched it. I don't mind Absolutely Fabulous. Yeah. Depends what mood I'm in, I can watch it. Where's her TV credits? See, I'm all South African born, like Sid James. God, she did Chalk, Sam Sadie. Stuff I never heard of, really. She was in an episode of Jonathan Creek. Been on the stage, done My Fair Lady. But she's a good support. Another excellent support character is Margaret's friend. And I think earlier in this episode, Victor compliments Mrs. Warboys on her outfit, which is exactly the same as Margaret's, which is another joke. I mean, they didn't get the same handbags. I mean, they're not. That's probably a case of the wardrobe department having a couple of copies of the same. Oh, they've gone round in a circle, back to the van. But the wardrobe department having the same dress and making a joke of that, possibly making a joke of the wardrobe department. But the old crappy van. Probably been made crap by the BBC, because I would have thought this had been made in-house by the BBC drama department of the 90s. Or, I don't know if they had a comedy department, but maybe. We never know, you never know. Well, she was in Yentl as well with Barbara Streisand, which I will never watch because that sounds completely crap. She was in Coronation Street. She didn't die, I don't know. That's pretty much it for her. Oh, there they go down the side. I presume that was stunt doubles because the camera was definitely not facing them as they fell. So, and I think that Richard Wilson and Doreen Mantle must have been quite old. I mean, late 50s, 60s at this point. Because the weird thing about One Foot in the Grave is, in the end, in the last episode, they actually kill him. They kill him off. Because there's always a dark side to all of Renwick's stuff, I think. He has the light and the dark very much sort of balanced. And this has started very light, and about halfway they find the old people's home, and it gets very grim and very dark at that point. And we'll see that when we come, because of the old people being actually abused in what looks like quite a nice house and that, but the old dear in that was in a lot of stuff. So the lady who runs the old folks' home, yeah, and him playing a very because they're stuck, so he's wandering off. This is it. This is about, I don't know where we are exactly in the episode, but I suppose we're about halfway through, are we? And are we recording, you bastard? Oh, sorry, I think I lost you there for a minute, but I'm back. I thought we had gone off then for a minute. Never mind, we're still going. Anyway, yes, he's wandering through the undergrowth and looking for help, basically, because he's stuck. And as he wanders through this doesn't look day for night. It looks like it was actually filmed at night, so that's quite good, isn't it? Oh, he's gone face down into the dirt and muck, which could be an episode of I think this is going to be a scarecrow. Reminds me of the Family Blood Doctor Who episode with the scarecrows. Wurzel Gummidge, although it looks sort of Halloweenish, doesn't it, with its pumpkin head. Anyway, in Carry On England, the guy who was in charge of the camp there, played by I can't remember his bloody name now. Famous Carry On actor, but he kept going face first into the mud, and that must be a homage to that. So here he is. He's found the old people's home. He's wandering over to have a look, and let's have a look. One thing. Because I know the old lady who's in this is the one who runs the... She was in As Time Goes By, I think, as the Mad Housekeeper. And I might do it As Time Goes By. So here's the old boy coming down the stairs. 1, 2, 3. Coming down the stairs. He's going to help him out. He thinks he's like the owner of the house, I would guess. But he's just a resident old OAP, old age pensioner, or an older person who might be slightly senile, I suppose, or mentally, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But he's gonna let Victor in and help him out and be a nice chap. See, he's not lost it. He's quite a nice old boy. Who else? Arabella Weir. She turned up in something else later on. She's. Is that her? Oh no, that's him. One foot in the grave. Oh, she's passed, is she? Oh, I didn't know she'd died. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong person. That's what happens when you look on IMDb. You can never find the right bloody people that you're looking for. Yeah, it could be her. She might. Yeah, born in 1935, so this has got to be right. Anyway, the old boy's off upstairs, and he's looking nervous. Here we go. The staff. That's Arabella Weir. Went on to fame in other sort of fame in England in other things. Yeah, she was quite good as a comedic actress. So she's playing a bit of a dark part here. So here's the lumbering official, Brit Nasty. They're all a bit nasty, this lot, which you'll find soon. Because they're all pretending to be kind at the moment, but they're all a bunch of bastardos. Bastardo. As in Blackadder. Bastardo. Series 2, Episode 6, if you want a reference. Miss Lander, yes. God, is she still working now? And she was born in 1935. This is the old dear here. She will be very... you'll all know her if you're English, and possibly American, because she's been in loads of comedies. And the Psycho Shower. Doesn't he look like the Psycho Shower from the 1960 Anthony Perkins, Janet Leigh vehicle? Obviously Hitchcock. And I assume they reversed it because they put, here she goes, she's going to go in there with him. And he's playing the sort of Janet Leigh role, if you like. He's in the shower and clean up and she's going to come in. I suppose this is foreshadowing. See, look, this is the psycho moment. Look, perfect. There you go. Brilliant. Never noticed that before, me being a dummy. But it's perfect, really. And this is foreshadowing to who she is, which is a right biatch. That's given her a surprise, isn't it? Because see, Richard Wilson, obviously not scared about going around naked in his late 50s. And there you go. I think he's a gay actor, which means nothing at all. Doesn't matter. He's very good. Brilliant. Doesn't matter. Because I think even Humphrey, and I might do a Yes Minister or Prime Minister one day. And of course, Humphrey Appleby played by what was his name? Oh God, doesn't matter. I'll look him up when we get to it. But he was also a gay actor, very good. A lot of actors, really good. The gay actors are the best, I would say, probably. Debatably, I'm sure you'll debate. Oh, she was in Pride and Prejudice, which was Mrs. Jones' baby. So yeah, she's been going for a long time. Played Mavis Enderbury in Mavis Jones' Baby. Toast of London, if you like a bit of toast, might do one of them. Mummy on the Orient Express, a Doctor Who again. Into Capaldi's time, when we're starting to wrap the series up, really. Capaldi, not my favourite. Father Brown, Marple. As time goes by, there you go. From 93 to 2005, she played Mrs. Bale, which was the housekeeper. Oh, they're treating the old boy. See, this is pretty rough for 90s comedy, really, isn't it? And I think he's going to get a slap, which is really brutal for this time. I mean, it really did. I mean, before, when it did happen, when you see it all the time, this is where, he was aware of it even then, wasn't he, old Renwick? And it seems to be commonplace now. There you go, wallop. Stage slap, but still, the nastiness of it still sinks in there, doesn't it? Really cruel. Look, and a whack. Bloody hell. Evil. Ooh. Yeah, it really is brutal stuff. And he's on his way again. Oh, he left his watch behind, you see. There's the MacGuffin for going back. See, I thought of Hitchcock and I'm thinking of MacGuffins now. And I'm assured Hitchcock was in his mind as well. Renwick's when he was thinking of... He's going into Harry Potter land. Was Harry Potter written by now? I don't know. Did J.K. Rowling see this and get the idea of someone under the stairs from this? Did you, J.K.? Did you? Did you watch this episode of One Foot in the Grave in the early 90s? When was this? One Foot in the Air, 93. I think Harry Potter was a few years later. So you might have saw the old book. There's the old girl as well. The old girl's been put under there as well. There you go. Victor's seen them being abused. I think he calls her a loathsome bastard later on. Which is very true, but very good very strong for comedy in the BBC in the 90s. But yeah, there you go. The two old people being put under the stairs. Which Harry Potter did dwell in for many books of the JK series. Which was odd, of course. There's a lot of odd things in JK's books, but... Yeah, she's a bit weird, isn't she, old JK? But never mind. Don't sue me. Yeah, Famous Five, she did. She's probably got the biggest portfolio of all the... She was even in Classic Who, even in Sylvester McCoy. In The Curse of Fenric, probably one of his best. I never liked McCoy, but... Here they are, all getting pissed. After a hard day of beating up the old folk. Not smoking alcohol. Wouldn't be allowed to do that indoors anymore. Being the early 90s, they're all well away. I'm surprised they didn't just drug up all the old folk and booze away, as they normally do, didn't they, in this sort of thing. Anyway, yeah, she looks quite austere, because I think Annabella Weir is more sort of cuddly these days and more a sort of happy figure. There you go, he's rescuing the poor old people. Ah, it's like when Harry Potter gets freed from his bondage, isn't it? You stole it, JK, I know you did. I think he drugs this lot. Yeah, he's going to drug him. Oh yeah, this is the time, because it's a diversion. See, this is all magic stuff from Renwick. Because even some of his episodes have got magic involved in them, so I think, even though they did run alongside each other, Jonathan Creek and One Foot in the Grave for a couple of years, I think he's always, see that, they're making the diversion, done the magic, because there's lots of episodes. If you watch One Foot in the Grave, you'll see there's magic stuff in there. I think even Victor does a few magic tricks. He has a few people around and gets someone stuck in a box for ages. There you go, the diversion is done. The drinks have been drugged. and they will now sleep. God, she was in The Cook, the Thief, his wife, her lover. She was wearing pink pyjamas. That's an ancient film. Chucky, God. She has been around. Martin Chusbit in the 1964 version, my word. Yeah, good credits. The Upper Hand, which is a sort of 90s comedy, which made Honor Blackman a sex icon again after the Avengers and whatever else she did. The Goldfinger as Pussygalore. The Upper Hand is, I can't remember what the American counterpart is, but where the babysitter marries might be Silver Spoon, something like that. Here we go, this is the Evil Loathsome Bastard section. And I love this, woo! And she is indeed, and she's got the face for it, but probably it's more of a face cast than obviously, like, she's probably such a nice lady in real life, as most of these actors seem to be. Yeah. And he's going, what does he say? Are you fluent in bollocks or something? You're talking bollocks. Yeah. Brilliant stuff. Capable of the language you're talking now. There you go. Anyway, yeah, in the last episode, they kill Victor off. And they leave it very ambiguous at the end because they make it, because the woman who runs, because he gets run over, and the woman who kills him is helping Victor's wife clear up rubbish in the last episode. And she's getting closer because I think she's trying to apologise to her in some way. And I think Margaret finds out through the episode, if you watch. So watch the last episode. Here she goes, getting a jab up the Harris. And we'll see the old psychedelic psycho moment again. Bit more psycho stuff. That's a bit Red Dwarf, that. When he gets the... in Polymorph, when Chris Barry gets it on his head, they go, I think they use that effect then. Anyway, in the last episode, yeah, Hannah Gordon, I think, plays the part of the friend who befriends Margaret because she was drunk and she ran Victor over. It was like a hit and run. And I think at the end, Margaret gets a letter or something from her. And it looks like she might even be going to murder her. Which is pretty brutal stuff, isn't it, really? But they leave that open-ended at the end, but it looks definitely, and I think Margaret might, because even though she hates, sort of, they really love-hate relationship throughout the series, Margaret really does love it, because she gets jealous quick when Barbara Windsor turns up in one of the episodes and shows an interest. There he is, Nick Swaney, he's here to help, because we're going to and again, the plotting is brilliant now, because we've seen the bags of, he's got the van started, so he's bought the van with all the plaster in, and they're now going to use the bags of cement, not plaster, silly bugger, and they're going to put their feet into them and make them into scarecrows for a lovely final image, a pan image. There you go. There's the Doctor coming to see all the abuse that's been shown. See, he's coming like the Crimson Avenger, hasn't he, which he calls himself in one of the other episodes. God, it's a Ford Granada, bloody hell, I didn't know they had them in the 90s still, I thought they died out in the 80s. No, there's a Metro police car, my God! That don't look right. In the 90s, are we sure? Oh my God. And they can't find the staff have disappeared. Which is odd. But here we go, and then as you pan back, we have that family of blood Doctor Who moment. The scarecrows are the staff, and they have been left out there. Another fitting punishment for being loathsome bastards. And they're off, and he's off into the night as I think they're all smart. And now we get the flip round of a Sherlock episode where the cuddly bunny ends up inside and the real bunny outside the cage for some reason. Insanity, but there we go. And we reach the end credits. Well, that rolled on. I hope I gave you some info. Please watch the series because it's really good. It's a brilliant series, is One Foot in the Grave. And it's sort of gone by the way of all the classic comedies like Only Fools and Horses and Men Behaving Badly and all that sort of 90s stuff. It sort of gets forgotten, Dad's Army and all those classic comedies. But this is up there with them. Frank Spencer and all. This is up there, and if not better, I would say it's on a par, and if not better in some cases, because it's so well constructed. It's a series you owe yourself to watch, people. So I'd like to raise the awareness of One Foot in the Grave. And you should all go and buy the DVDs or download it, watch it on Netflix, wherever you can get hold of it. I'm sure there's somewhere you can find it to watch, and you deserve yourself a favour because it's brilliant. Anyway, so glad you hung around I think we had a technical hitch in the middle, sorry about that, but I'm sure you can live with that, can't you, folks? and I hope to do some more episodes of stuff soon and some more reactions, whatever I shall. Because I'm a busy man, I haven't got much time, but I'll try and do it for you, my fans, my loving fans out there. Anyway, I'll see you soon, and that is Mikey P signing off.